the heart of Atlanta. Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast, the heart of the fan.
Baseball's heavyweight champs have come out swinging in June. After a rocky start, Atlanta's Cinderella men have counterpunched their way to 9 straight wins. The scorecards all show dazzling footwork, quick hands, and powerful haymakers for the Braves in 9 unanimous decisions. Today, the undisputed heavyweight champs look to deliver a series-winning TKO. Truist Park is ready to rumble. The chase for a perfect 10 is next on Bally Sports. Champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. It's a beautiful Saturday in Atlanta, GA, as the Braves and Buccos meet in Game 3 of a 4-game series. The streak is at 9. The Braves try to win 10 in a row on a beautiful afternoon today. Chip Carey, Nick Green, Paul Bird, 2 perfect 10s with you for the Braves as they try to win double-digit games in a row. Birdie, everything clicking for Atlanta right now, especially the starting staff, which today features Charlie Morton.
No, you're right on. Charlie Morton pitched well on the road trip he navigated out in Colorado. Altitude, little tough, got hit in the hand, he battled back. But you know what? We're not in Colorado anymore. We're at home, Nick Green, and this is our house. Check out the Braves starting rotation. Kyle Wright, chance to make that all-star team. He's been an ace. Max Fried has been Max Fried. Ian Anderson, the changeup. And everybody is still talking about Spencer Strider in that Pirates locker room. He was phenomenal with 100+. Charlie Morton just has to follow the leader, get back on track, the curve, the high fastball. If he does that with this offense, 10 in a row.
And Greeny, how about the new guy? What can you say about Michael Harris, who's had a heck of a first 2 weeks?
He's an absolute stud, and we knew that coming in. There was a reason he jumped from number 11 prospect to number 1 overall for the Braves this past offseason. Top 100 prospect among Major League Baseball, and he's done a great job in the outfield. One thing that I like, yes, he's made the fabulous catches, we know that, but he's able to call guys off and take charge at center field. Offensively, 342 over the last 10, made some adjustments with his hands. He's swinging the bat so much better, and last night I thought was his best offensive performance of the season. 2 for 3 with a couple runs scored, a stolen base. He's putting a ton of pressure on the defense from the offensive side.
So the Braves don't need to change a thing, just keep on winning. And when we come back, Kelly Kroll will talk about this very impressive 9-game winning streak and see what, if anything, these superstitious players think about changing on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Atlanta against the Pirates.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
We welcome you back to Truist Park on this beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Atlanta. The Braves and Pirates continue their series this weekend, Game 3 of a 4-game set. And if Snit's club is able to get themselves one more win this afternoon, not only is it their 3rd straight series win, but they're 6 games over 500. And of course, it would mean 10 wins in a row. And just look at how good this club has been during this span. Offensively, 4th best in the league with over 6 runs a game. They're pitching to the tune of a 2.25 ERA, also good for 4th best. And that defense, 6 outs above average, 2nd best in the league. And as the old saying goes, of course, when things are going this well for your team, you better keep up whatever it is you're doing day in and day out. And those superstitions certainly happening for the defending world champs right now.
For me, it's kind of like putting on the same underwear, wearing the same cleats, just kind of doing those kind of silly things. But I feel like everyone has their own individual, unique thing that they do. So right now it's working, so hopefully keep it going.
For me, it's what I wear during the game. I've worn the same socks, same sliders, same shirt, same everything the whole time.
Have they been washed?
Yes, okay. Yeah, they've been washed. Yeah, I don't think I could play if they weren't washed.
Well, one thing I'm not doing and I won't do is get a haircut during a winning streak. I refuse to get a haircut, and I'll let this grow a little bit. I won't ever cut my beard. I'll just let it go. So last year was pretty long.
So no haircuts, same meals, same socks, all kinds of things going on. As far as Snit goes, he has taken the same route to the ballpark for this entire streak. So it's good to know everyone doing their part right now for the Braves. And it'll be up to Charlie Morton this afternoon to keep it rolling. He'll be on the hill facing the only team in the majors he hasn't squared off against in the Pirates. It's Atlanta and Pittsburgh. First pitch on the way here on Bally Sports.
We are just about ready to go for Game 3 here at Truist Park. Another gigantic crowd settling in on a lovely afternoon. Glad you're with us here on Bally Sports. Charlie Morton will try to help the Braves extend their winning streak to 10 consecutive games. And speaking of the Devil, Charlie Morton is our Synovus Get There feature, Bertie.
Getting a little bit better. Let's not forget last year in the World Series, last pitch, broke that leg. Coming back, shortened spring training. He's starting to come around again with the other starters who've been pitching very, very well. Look out if he has a good one, 10 in a row.
He could use an easy game, and by that I mean no disrespect to the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm talking about workload. As you see the StatCast 3D presented by Google Cloud, Charlie had to work exceptionally hard in the first inning in Colorado and threw almost 60 pitches, guys, in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, you know, he's struggled with his fastball command. I think that's going to be important for him today, but he's a better pitcher than what we've seen. So hopefully what we've seen as of late last time out, I thought the curveball was better. That we see a better curveball today. When you look at the last 3 starts, 7 for 17 opponents are on that curveball. If that curveball's on today, look for a good start.
And for Charlie Morton, who's appearing in his 304th big league game, today is a first. This is the first time he has faced the Pittsburgh Pirates, a team for which he once played. And Derek Shelton has shuffled his Toyota starting lineup with Tucupita Marcano leading off. They drop Brian Hayes down to third behind Brian Reynolds. Those two men, second and third in the lineup, have had a good offensive series. But to the point, Charlie Morton, he's been really good at home, facing the Pirates for the first time. A lot on the line, maybe drove the same way to the ballpark, didn't change his socks. Who knows what'll work for Charlie in Game 3.
Well, I mean, I've changed my clothes and I've certainly washed my underwear because hygiene's important. But I don't really care what the players did. Just keep doing what you are doing. You see the 11 starts this season. Here's a big thing to look for, guys. Morton, curve against right-handed hitters last year. They hit 162. This year, 286. We'll see if he can spin a few and get him located well today, Greeny.
What are the 4 keys for you?
Well, a lot of firsts and score first. I think that's important. The first 2 games of this series, the Braves have done that. They're 22-4 when scoring first, so keep that up. And then Charlie Morton's the first inning, 11 starts, 13 runs, 8 walks, and 4 hit by pitches. He's got to be better than that today.
And this is a Pittsburgh team that's been outscored dramatically in the first inning this year. Negative 18 runs in the first inning, negative 40 runs in the first 2 innings. So they've had to play from behind an awful lot. A trend that we hope continues here in Game 3. Tucupita Marcano, the native of Tucupita, Venezuela, will lead off for Pittsburgh. He's reached in 10 of his last 12 games since May 27th and batting .270. A lot of rookies in this lineup for the Pirates. Marcano's one of them. And Charlie's first pitch is fouled back, and we are underway at Truist Park.
The game top temperature is 86 degrees.
86 degrees. We understand a big heat wave's coming to Atlanta once we leave town after the game tomorrow, and pushing toward 90 this afternoon. That's sky to the left. And just like that, Charlie's ahead 0-2. Two homers, 5 RBIs for Marcano, who takes off the plate. A ball and 2 strikes.
You see the pitch usage right there. His curve is that out pitch. We'll see if he goes back to it here or the high heat.
Breaking ball got him. Swing and a miss for Marcano. Good start for Charlie Morton. 1 up, 1 down.
Good start for Charlie, too. We talk about that curveball, how inconsistent it has been. Well, this is the good one, but it's also set up by getting into a good count, a good pitcher's count, and able to drop that down and in. That's that swing and miss pitch from Charlie Morton.
I like it. Morton's ERA in the first inning this year is a 9.82. So if he can get out of this inning, settle in a little bit with this offense and the defense, it's going to be a fun day.
Bryan Reynolds, the hitter. He's had a good series, 5 hits. Braves haven't figured out how to get this guy out. One thing that has happened, though, guys, is the hits the Pirates are getting, most of them singles. They have not done a whole lot of extra base hitting damage against the Braves in this series. And Reynolds, 5 hits, all of them 1-base hits. That's what you want from this guy, who's a terrific major league outfielder and hitter.
And when you look at this Pirates team and their offense, we know they're offensively challenged to a degree. They've been swinging the best better, but you talk about the lack of extra base hits. That's why you see a lack of runs as well. Last 4, they've lost 4 straight, 7 total runs. This series, you have 16 hits and only 2 extra base hits. You won't score a lot of runs like that.
And in fairness to the Pirates, we've mentioned a couple of times, they have some big league outfielders that are hurt. They're playing 4 rookies in the lineup today against Charlie Morton, as that finds the zone. 3 balls and a strike to Reynolds. So they're shorthanded and letting kids come up from AA and AAA to try to fill the gap until guys like Marisnick and Tsutsugo,
Kevin Newman,
and Matt Gamble get back from injury. Charlie back in the count, 3-2. Riley will begin his sprint to shallow right field as the Braves will shift with a full count. I'd like to put a steps monitor on Austin Riley, see how many he puts in during a big league game with all the movement he makes. Charlie to work, 3-2 pitch. Hit high in the air toward the Braves bullpen. Harris has gone as far as he can go, and Reynolds hits a 1-out home run. Ninth homer. Charlie's allowed 8 homers. His first inning issues continue. Pittsburgh strikes first. It's 1-0.
Charlie got behind in the count 3-0 and got back in with 2 fastballs, 3 straight fastballs, and Reynolds knows exactly what to do with that one.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't see that coming because Reynolds was behind on Charlie's heater. That was Charlie's best heater velocity wise of the inning.
So Pittsburgh strikes first. Here's Ke'Bryan Hayes. And that splits the plate at the knees. Even count for the Pittsburgh third baseman. 2 homers, 20 RBIs, 284 average. He's been leading off out of necessity for the Pirates. But I would think, guys, this is where he's going to hit every day once they get to full strength. Middle of the order run producing hitter. And a good player, Ke'Bryan Hayes, who's 2 for 8 in this series and behind in the count. Line drive center, and Harris makes a running catch. Well, I love the way he tracked that ball. It looked like it was sort of in between, but he was able to gauge it correctly and make a nice running grab.
I think you have that knuckleball action too, and that's tough to read as an outfielder. Backspin is going to go a little bit deeper. Knuckleball action is going to drop a little bit shallower. Nice job staying with that ball by Michael Harris.
So Daniel Vogelbach will be the hitter. Vogelbach 1 for 8 in the series. 1 for 6 lifetime against Morton. And he jumps on the first pitch and hammers that to center. That one's not coming back. That is a solo home run on the first pitch. 2-0 Pittsburgh. His 7th homer. The first one to Reynolds was mislocation. Let's see what happened to this pitch as the burly left-hander Vogelbach drives it to straightaway center.
Outside part of the plate, not a bad pitch at all. You got to credit the Pirates on this one. I know Reynolds had too much of the plate in. Again, it was a 3-2 pitch first inning. You want to challenge guys. You don't want to walk guys out of the gate. Morton's doing that. They're just timing his fastball up right now, Nick.
That's 4 first-inning home runs now allowed by Charlie this year, more than any other inning. As he gets Michael Chavis to swing and miss. Chavis has chased some high fastballs in this series. He's 3 for 8 though. Pittsburgh's got 2 solo homers to lead 2-0. Charlie Morton being greeted rudely by the last big league team against which he has faced, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
There you go, a little change up in, pull the string. The guy's sitting fastball, ready to turn and burn. There's not a better pitch.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 5th place hitter, and Morton strikes out Chavis. 2 strikeouts, 2 homers. Pittsburgh strikes for a pair of runs. Atlanta's offense goes to work against Zach Thompson next. Warm day in Atlanta. The ball's flying early. Pirates lead 2-0. Here come the Braves for their first look at Zach Thompson. The Braves starting lineup presented by Brian Snitker and Toyota. Atlanta's won 13 of 17 games, 9 in a row. They have a +36 run differential in this red hot stretch. And with William Contreras in the lineup behind the plate, that's the only major change for Game 3 of the series. Don't know if 2's going to be enough. And the way, guys, the Braves are swinging the bat, you like their chances against anybody. And today it's Zach Thompson's turn to try to tame Atlanta's offense.
Bugatti has a great cutter, as you can see right there. Fastball, cutter, curve, change. He's going to throw more cutters to righties, more changes to lefties. He's old school around the plate. It's not going to overwhelm you with velocity. Has to pitch.
And he has to pitch to Ronald, who starts the day with ball 1 outside. If Thompson looks familiar to you, he should. He last pitched with the Marlins. Pirates got him in the Jacob Stallings trade. As Acuna ahead in the count, the pitch low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Ronald has a couple of hits in the series. He's hitting .319, and once again back in the lineup defensively. This is his 8th straight game playing right field. Two balls and a strike. Thompson's on a nice run since May the 1st. 3-1, a 2.05 ERA for Pittsburgh. He's 3-4 overall on the season. And beat Arizona in his last start. The pitch is taken high. 3 balls and a strike. Dansby and Austin Riley will follow Ronald Acuna here in the opening inning. Fly ball wallop left center field. Leadoff homer for Ronald. His second leadoff homer this year, the 25th of his career, and homers the story here in the first inning, Nick.
Oh, I love it. Acuna got himself into a good count. Knows the cutter is Thompson's pitch. Out of the plate, not a bad pitch at all. Sinks down into the legs and absolutely demolishes his ball to left center field. Keep getting it done, Ronald Acuna.
4th homer in June, 10th run in June, and the Braves have a run right back. It's 2-1 for Dansby Swanson, who is as hot as the weather.
Ho-hum, reach out, get a slider, hit it 434 feet. Wow.
So buckle up. The ball's flying in Atlanta today. 2-1 score, 1 strike for the Braves shortstop, who took a shot and didn't get it. It's 0-2. Dansby enters play today with 7 homers, 29 driven in, a .286 average.
So for me, his cut fastball looks like a slider. It's 89 miles an hour. Zach's heater 94, but it breaks significantly, so it almost plays like a hard slider for me.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Nice, sharply hit to short, but Castillo got a friendly hop and takes care of Dansby for out number 1.
If you like pretty swings, take a look at this. Acuna, look at this pitch. Not a bad pitch at all, and he's able to barrel it, able to cover the outside part of the plate. We got an E outfielder out there, E fan. You know the celebrations. We had the silencer, we had the ice tray. Now we've got LeBron before the game. I don't know what that's called, but it's powder something.
Powder River, maybe.
There you go.
Smoke show.
Keep it going.
Like that better, Paul. That was good. Austin Riley unloads on the first pitch. Game is tied. How far is that one going? I guess the ball's not dead anymore.
Did they throw a new ball in, or is it just our guys are really good? I'm going to go with a little bit of both because I know how good they are. First pitch, wasting no time. Cutter backs up a little bit, right into the wheelhouse of Austin Riley.
His 16th homer ties the game. It's 2-2. And Matt Olson, the batter, looking for his second hit of the series.
In case you're wondering, that was hit off the bat harder than Acuna at 111. 432 feet.
We talk all the time about how you want hitters to be aggressive or how you want them to be patient. I think the mantra might be kind of the Ted Williams philosophy. Get a good pitch and hit it no matter the count. That's the 19th first pitch homer for the Braves this year. So they are swinging early in the count. They're not going up there looking to get ahead. They're going up looking to do damage early and often.
And I think that the biggest thing is making sure you're locked in a certain zone. You can't just be swinging first pitch to be swinging first pitch. A lot of these guys are very talented, so they know they can hit tough pitches. But if you get the good pitch to hit and get your A swing off first pitch, it puts so much pressure on the pitcher as well.
Matt Olson swings and misses. That is out number 2. Let's take a look at our Blue Moon bright spot after Riley's first pitch homer. That's the subject of the bright spot today.
382, 1100 plus OPS. You're going to swing a lot, so that 33% swing rate does not surprise me, but they lead the NL in OPS, home run, and swing rate on first pitches.
Why wait around to get to 2 strikes when you can do damage before that? That's Ozzy's philosophy. You know, he likes to swing the bat early, Nick.
But you know what happened first pitch of the game, right, to Acuna? They know he's going to be attacking in the zone. First pitch, cutter way off the plate.
Yep.
I love that. Puts so much pressure on the pitcher to make a quality pitch.
Well, if I'm the Pirates, I got a 2-0 lead off Morton. Got to him early. I'm feeling really good about the day. I've just lost 2 to the Braves. Next thing you know, it's 2-2, and they only got 1 out.
Shift on for Ozzy. A little pall of smoke hanging over the field after the pyrotechnics. The pitch is bounced out of play and into the camera well. Albies behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, riding a 6-game hitting streak, a hit in each of those 6 affairs. 2 Pirate homers in the first, 2 Braves homers in the first. Thompson ready. Here she comes. And poked down the left field line. Curling foul. That'll hit the netting. Ozzy will try again. The pitch is shot toward left. Coming on is Sawinski. He'll dive and he'll make the play. And he'll have to replace his divot as well. 2 homers. Ronald Acuna Jr. a leadoff shot, the second of the season. Austin Riley with 1 out ambushes the first pitch he sees today. What a first inning. A wild one. We're tied at 2. It's almost like Nick Green's hitting. 4 homers in the first inning. As Charlie Morton goes to work against Jack Sawinski, who just made a nice catch in left. Sawinski leads off the second. For the Pirates, he's off to a great start with 8 big league homers and 12 hits in his last 7 Pirate games. See if Charlie can restore a little order here. And there's the curve, a pretty one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Sawinski coming up, trying to establish himself in the big leagues. Nick, what was the biggest thing for you coming up as a hitter you had to learn?
I think just making adjustments to the fact they're better pitchers consistently. You see this at bat right here. Charlie's starting a curveball off the plate, breaks it over, gives another curveball, and then he's got the fastball up. So these guys know how to pitch. The location is so much better at the big league level, and that's a tough thing for young hitters at times. You're always going to have to make an adjustment.
And that's Charlie Morton at his best, right? Gets the curveball ahead of the count, finishes guys off with the high fastball. And now 3 strikeouts for Morton with Cal Mitchell coming up. This guy's got a nice swing. Didn't get that one. Strike 1.
What Chip described as you young baseball fans as pitching backwards. Most of the time you establish that fastball early, close them out with a curveball. He threw breaking balls, closed them out with the heater. Usually may not take that approach until 2nd or 3rd time through the order.
I want to see Charlie use that changeup a little bit more too, and maybe wrinkle in that first pitch cutter more.
Yeah.
I feel like guys are so locked in on fastball, curveball, those could be really good pitches.
2 strikes for Mitchell and 3 strikes for Mitchell. Charlie has struck out 3 hitters in a row, 4 in total. And look, there's so much more scouting in the game. As again, the high fastball got him. I would assume, Nick and Paul, the hitters know what an opposing pitcher is going to throw, but there's so much more emphasis on sequencing now and how those pitches are used. Was that something you worried about much, Paul, when you were pitching in the big leagues?
It was, but we didn't have the information they have now. So what I mean is they may say, hey, this hitter likes to swing early. He struggles with a breaking ball. He'll chase here. We didn't have the exact percentages that said, hey, here's what a pitcher throws when it's 2-0 84% of the time, and here's what a hitter hits in this count if you throw this pitch. So when you see guys taking their hat off and looking at a little scouting report, we didn't have enough information to even do that.
I think you can look at the data and looking at Thompson, for instance, 3-1 counts versus righties, 63% four-seam fastballs or sinkers. So that's going to be something in Acuna's count that typically you would say, okay, well, I'm going to throw something other than the cutter. Well, Acuna is a good fastball sinker guy, right? So now he goes cutter, and Acuna takes him deep. So it depends on what type of hitter you have at the plate.
This one is looped to short. Dansby's got that. Tyler Heineman's retired, and Charlie Morton with a shutdown inning. Marcell Ozuna will lead off in a tie game, 2 apiece. Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. Another packed house in Atlanta. The Braves trying to win their 10th consecutive game. Wild start. 2 solo homers for each offense in the first inning. And Marcell Ozuna will get things started in a moment. While we have a second, there's a dear friend of ours with the Atlanta Braves organization and Bally Sports who's been a big part of the experience at Turner Field and Truist Park. Carolyn Serra, who's going through a tough time right now. Carolyn is the director of ballpark tours here for so many years. Ran the Braves Hall of Fame and Museum at Turner Field. We want to send along our best wishes to her for a very speedy recovery, and all of us are praying for you and thinking of you, Carolyn and Glenn, and the entire family, and can't wait to see you back at the ballpark real soon.
Here, here. Well done, Chip.
Ozuna fouls one away, strike 1. As the home second underway, Ozuna Contreras and Adam Duvall coming up.
I'm sure Carolyn would appreciate a 10-game win streak. Braves win today. That happens.
That one off his thumbs and out to Castillo at short. And there's a strike to first. One man down for the Braves. William Contreras coming up. Castillo's getting some extended playing time. Nick, you mentioned a name, O'Neill Cruz for the Pirates, who's a very highly rated prospect. He's knocking at the door.
You know, I mean, it's shocking to me that he's not up, and I think it's more than anything, it's a service time issue, and they don't want to start that clock yet. But when you do see him, he's their #1 prospect. This guy's the real deal.
He's also gigantic, 6'7".
And he's probably going to stay at shortstop as of right now.
I can't wait to see that.
Contreras at 289 on the year. One out for him. Base is empty. And Thompson, this is badly outside. 2 balls, no strikes, and that baseball's obviously defective. He wants a new one. Williams done a great job. Heck, the whole Braves catching core has been terrific. That includes Manny Pena, who's injured. He had wrist surgery. He'll be good to go for spring training next year. But in his absence, Contreras has made the most of his playing time. Played left field for a game. He's DH'd. And what's so noticeable is not just the raw power guys he has, but his work behind the plate has really been a big difference maker.
Significantly better from receiving the ball, blocking, throwing guys out.
See if he's green lighted. 3-0. Nope. Ball 4 inside. 1 on, 1 out. And Adam Duvall will be the hitter. 18th walk allowed by Zach Thompson. And Derek Shelton gets a drink of water on a hot day as the Braves bring up Adam Duvall, who's 1 for 7 with an RBI in the series. Adam has the whole right side of the infield to play with if he elects to go that way. The pitch. Shaved off a corner. It's a strike. Junior Valentine calling balls and strikes today. Sean Barber, David Rackley, Larry Vanover, the rest of the umpiring crew. Crowd quiet as Duvall digs in from the right side. The pitch. Little pop into shallow center. Long run Reynolds. He's still coming, and what a play at short. Gorgeous play by Castillo. An over the shoulder catch facing the center field fence. That robs Adam Duvall, and that is out number 2.
What a catch.
Marcano, I beg your pardon.
In the shift. Great job just running through this ball, not gator arming it. Runs right to the spot, and a tremendous over the shoulder catch.
Great catch. Broadcaster, it was Marcano, not the shortstop, with the shift on. But a great catch nonetheless. So wow, tough luck for Adam Duvall. Here's Michael Harris. Harris 3 for 6 in the series. And takes downstairs. Look, it's not coincidental. The Braves started rolling when this kid started rolling at the plate. It's not all him.
No, he got some big hits down the bottom.
No question. Smoke to the right side. Diving stop. Ball knocked down. Throw to first in time. And Harris is robbed. How about that inning for Mr. Marcano? Braves out of luck in the second. We're tied 2 apiece.
Dansby, oof, you know, when he made that play, I had some flutters for sure. I see what the women see in him. Whew, that got me fired up. Dansby's the man.
They can poke fun at one another, they can love on one another, but most important, they can help one another. And Spencer Strider with a little man crush on Dansby Swanson right now after the work he did behind him last night. But all of this stemming from Dansby telling me after the game that he kind of sat down, he and Max Fried, with Strider following his start in Colorado. And Spencer followed that up just saying, you know, sometimes Dansby will see things behind me about hitters, things that they're not liking, things that I can kind of work on. And he goes, they gave me some adjustments, and just the way they articulated it, I was able to kind of take it into my outing last night. And gentlemen, I think they're just really having a good time with one another in that clubhouse. And I also love that it was a storyline coming into this year, right? The leadership, who was going to step up in that clubhouse. And I think what we're beginning to find is it's a number of guys, especially with these young pitchers.
On the ground, who wants this? Ozzie Albies in the shift, takes care of Diego Castillo. There's out number one. I think two guys that, with this infield defense that the Braves have, every pitcher is going to fall in love with pitching in front of these guys. And why wouldn't you? I would assume that it takes all the feeling of having to be perfect away when you go to the mound.
Yeah, if I'm pitching for this team, I don't care if I get the ball on the ground or now in this outfield. Defense was a little rough in April in the outfield. Now it's great all over the place. And I do think that Dansby Swanson is very underrated. He's an incredible shortstop. He's a leader. The fact that he went over in that locker room, sat down with Strider and Max Fried and helped him out. That's a veteran leader. And I can't say enough about that. And that's off the field stuff, Nick.
Tucupita Marcano is the hitter and takes outside. Well, I take that back. It was on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I like the fact that these guys are willing to take advice from each other. And Dansby's going to see a lot that maybe you don't see on the mound. He's a hitter, pitch sequencing. He can read swings. He knows where to be on the defensive side. And I think they respect that. Obviously, we know how good he is defensively, but just his intelligence with the game is so important. And to be able to kind of take on a little bit of a leadership role, more of a leader by example.
This one back up the middle, and Dansby can't get that. Marcano has a hit with 1 out. Big turnaround first. And he'll throw out an anchor and is aboard with 1 out.
But at the same time, you can lead by example and also put your 2 cents in when you need to. And that's a very good trait to have.
And I've said that a couple games ago. Matt Olson came over here. He just got here. He can't be the leader of the team and replace Freddie. He needs to be Matt Olson. But you do have to have somebody that can step up in that clubhouse verbally and be that leader. I think it's d'Arnaud and I think it's Dansby. And in my experience, the only people that do not like Dansby are guys who are in their late 20s because their girlfriends has a crush on him and like his hair. So
hair's important.
It is.
I tell you.
I don't know about it.
Sorry, Nick.
That's incredible salad right there.
1 ball, no strikes for Bryan Reynolds, who hit a home run in the first inning for the Pirates. He's having a good June, hitting over 340 this month for Pittsburgh. And that's a beautiful breaking ball to even up the count. You talk about guys having the ability to talk to teammates and express themselves as far as the leadership is concerned. There is one notable exception to that, and it's someone who played for the Braves in recent times. I'll see if this rings a bell for you in a second. First, the 1-1 pitch to Bryan Reynolds. That's Nick Markakis. Nick Markakis didn't have to say a word to anybody. Right? If things were going good, he'd give you the look. If things weren't going well, he'd give you the look, and you knew exactly what needed to be said. And he had the unique ability, even as a new guy to the organization, to command instant respect in that locker room.
You have to have that. You have to have different types of leaders. Lead by example, the tough guy, the grinder. You have to have a verbal leader as well. What I loved about Markakis is how hard he played. And it earned so much respect over the years, not just here, but elsewhere.
Runner goes, serve foul into the stands to the left.
Well, guys, another part of this conversation I thought was really interesting. I think the Cliff Notes version of what Fried and Swanson were both trying to get across to him is that less is more. He goes, you know, Dansby from behind me can tell me what hitters are struggling with and can tell me when I'm trying to get too complicated. And Nick, I thought it was interesting because, and Birdie, both of you, I want to ask how important it was for you to go to, for instance, Birdie, a hitter and ask about your stuff and how it's playing. And for you, Nick, going to a pitcher and saying, as a hitter, what are you doing to try and get me out? How that helped you throughout your careers?
I think more than anything, it's when you go into those situations, you have to explain why you're seeing this, right? If you can't explain why, then they're not going to respect what you have to say. But if you can explain why, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I think from a shortstop perspective, filthy breaking ball. From a shortstop perspective, you can see the field so well. You can see the swing so well. You can see the movement of the pitch so well. And they have a great idea of what's going to work in certain situations. I didn't do it a whole lot because I didn't have the service time to do that. I didn't feel comfortable doing it. But there are so many guys that would go to an infielder and say, hey, what are you seeing behind me? And Dansby has grown to that point where he's comfortable talking about it.
This is Ke'Bryan Hayes with 2 outs. Runner at first in a 2-2 game. That's another area where the game has changed a lot, I think. There's so much reliance, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. There's so much reliance on technology and what the numbers and the hot zones and the graphics are. To see guys standing on the top step of the dugout and watching the game and talking about what they're seeing is really an old school way of things getting done.
Oh, you're right on. And then we used to go out to dinner all the time. I think that was the tough thing about 2020 when guys were in their rooms, is you missed out if you were a rookie on going out to dinner with the veterans and learning the game from them, sitting there for hours having great conversations. That's back now, but yeah, did Spencer Strider miss a little bit of that? Yes, he did.
Charlie Morton wants to clean out the spikes. He's got a 1-1 count on Ke'Bryan Hayes, who lined out to center. Nice catch by Harris to erase him in the first inning. Both Morton and Thompson settling in here in the third inning. The pitch is way outside. 2 balls and a strike. Marcano broke off the bag and then scrambled back to first. He knows about Contreras' arm behind the plate. Braves will have the top of the order coming up after Morton retires the Buccos here in the third. So you want to stick around for that. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Good live fastball. 96. Even count. To put this start in perspective for Morton, he's thrown 45 pitches. He has 2 outs in the third inning. He threw 41 pitches in the first inning in Colorado in his last start. That was one of your keys.
And even the first inning here didn't go well, but it was only 20 pitches.
Straw came out on the inside corner. Hayes didn't expect that. 6 strikeouts. And the top of the order is coming up. Ronald Acuna Jr. looking for another big hit and a break, a 2-2 tie. Two game heading to the bottom of the third inning. Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to lead off. He's the subject of today's Stats with Lowe's feature.
Check out these numbers against the Pirates. Yeah, I'll take those all day long. 1100 plus OPS. I feel like that's the norm for him. He's continued his good work in this series.
And on the homestand, you might recall June 7th, Ronald homered in his first 2 at-bats against the A's. Perhaps a Saturday encore is in store for Acuna, who hit his second career leadoff homer today. The pitch on the ground. That's to short. Castillo with the throw to first. Second career leadoff homer of the year, I should say, for Ronald. 25 in total. But his perfect day ends on a ground ball out. That's what Thompson wants to do, guys. Get the ball in the grass. 1 away for Dansby. He bounced out his first time.
It's tough when you've given up a home run to a hitter on a good pitch. Acuna hit, in my opinion, a good cutter away. So you're a little intimidated because you feel like they may have something on you versus hanging a pitch down the middle and being very understanding on why the ball left the yard.
Dansby out in front. Strike 1.
There's the curve.
As good a hitter as Dansby Swanson has been, this guy's given him a little trouble. Let's see if he can change that. 1 ball, 1 strike from Zach Thompson, a late bloomer, 28 years young, lifetime 6-11 in the major leagues. And in a 2-2 matchup today, the pitch up the middle. That's going to sneak through for a base hit. 6-game hitting streak for Dansby Swanson. He's now 9 for 21 on the homestand. Boy, I love him hitting second. We've said that all week.
The one thing that's changed for Dansby is the shift isn't truly in play anymore. So now you have the second baseman on the second base side of second. Now he doesn't make this play, so it opens the field up so much more for Dansby Swanson. And he gets the base hit up the middle, which in the past probably would have been an out.
Why is that? Would you shift on him?
I wouldn't now. Not the way he's swinging the bat.
Austin Riley, the hitter. One of the things that's so great about Dansby putting the ball in play is his great speed. He's a threat to steal a base. Not this time, though. Keep Brian Hayes to second for 1, and the turn is in plenty of time. Austin Riley has seen 2 pitches. He's hit a homer, and he's made 2 outs. We go to the 4th inning, tied 2 apiece. 4 solo homers in the first inning, 2 for each squad as we've completed 3 in Atlanta. Here's our Who's Hot feature brought to you by Texas Pete. Nick, you mentioned the outfield defense drastically improving for the Braves. The numbers back that up.
Yeah, let's forget about March and April and May. Let's focus on June and the +3 outs above average. And a lot of that coincides with Michael Harris being up here and Ronald Acuna playing every day in right field. In June, Harris has 2 outs above average and Acuna 1. So that outfield defense has gotten much, much better.
Shadows begin to creep across the batter's box here in Atlanta with the 4:10 start. Charlie Morton with Daniel Vogelbach digging in, bounces 1 up. 2 balls, no strikes.
The very colorful Daniel Vogelbach. Some arguments with the umpire yesterday. Base hit to right. Yelled at the umpire as he was running out of the box.
Very maybe a chance to argue again. He didn't like that call. At least he's consistent. 2 balls and a strike.
Greeny, how do you guys get away with that? Can't do that as a pitcher.
It's what you say, Paul. You say the wrong word, you're out.
Okay.
Just don't say the wrong words.
You know what that word is? Strike 2, full
Dr.
count.
No was my college coach, and he knows.
Yes.
He knows exactly what the wrong words are.
Yeah, it's.
Is it you're terrible?
The pronoun you. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Pulled a string, and Vogelbach was off stride. Charlie Morton has 7 strikeouts in the game and 1 away in the 4th.
Vogelbach hit a fastball out earlier, not this time. How about the big bender that has the same rotation and spin as a fastball, top to bottom? This one goes straight down, and that swing shows you he was out in front and fooled.
Michael Chavis struck out his first time up. Braves are guarding the line with Chavis. Boy, he swung and missed a lot in this series. I think the Braves found a hole. He wants that fastball up around the letters, and he hasn't been able to catch up with it yet in the series.
You've got to get him inside too.
That one leaks out over the middle. Ozzie makes the play. Long throw, and Olsen the stretch. Good play to get Chavis.
Nice play by Ozzie. Ozzie was a shortstop coming up, and he knows how to work around the middle of the infield. I think it's so valuable to have athletes up the middle, and Ozzie's one of those.
He threw that ball with his body weight falling away out into left field. Is that tough to do?
Not with his arm angle. And that's one thing with an infielder. You have to be able to throw from different arm angles. Ozzie can do that.
Jack Sawinski, base is empty. Boy, this is such an encouraging start for Charlie Morton. He's efficient. He's throwing strikes, getting the ball on the ground, mixing in the strikeouts. He's getting the swings and misses. Braves could use a long start from Charlie, who's gone fewer than 6 innings in 4 consecutive outings. That's not like him. Last year he pitched 6 or more in 20 of his starts and went 10-1 when he did it. 1-1 pitch. He's upstairs, 2 balls and a strike.
The biggest difference for me, Chip, is his curveball. 21 against righties. They hit 162 this year, 286. Lefties hit 098. This year they hit 297. So got to get that pitch spinning right.
Early in the season, Greeny, he would throw that breaking ball and wasn't getting it chased. That's a big part of Charlie's game plan too, is it not?
It is, and that's what he wants. When you look at, it's just been inconsistent. When you look at the last start, it was 10 swings and misses. In the previous start, if I'm not mistaken, he had 2 swings and misses on the curveball. That's not like Charlie Morton. So it's just inconsistent spin with it, and obviously inconsistent location with the fastball as well. But when he's able to get ahead, it just makes everything so much easier, and he's able to get away with more mistakes, which it seems like he hasn't been able to get away with this year.
3-2 pitch and missed badly outside, and Sawinski earns a 2-out walk. First walk for Charlie Morton. Cal Mitchell will be the hitter, but first a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
So some extra lifting for Charlie here in the 4th inning. Mitchell struck out in the 2nd for the Pirates. Charlie has 2 strikeouts in each inning except this one. One more would give him 8 strikeouts in the game. The pitch and a good start.
See, that one right there is not going to typically get hit hard, right? The one that starts out over the plate that doesn't have that good horizontal vertical break, that's the one that he's making the mistake with. And I just feel like it's a release point inconsistency with his curveball.
Popped up left side. Riley gives chase, won't have a play. And on the ricochet, that'll bounce into the big crowd here.
Another big crowd. Atlanta fans doing a great job supporting their team, and it makes a difference. Truist Park, where it gets loud. I love it.
Morton stretches. Mitchell awaits, and a swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in each of the first 4 innings. Do the math. That's 8 in total for Charlie. And the Braves will send the middle of their order up, trying to break a 2-2 tie in Game 3 with the battling Buccos. Time for an Xfinity game break before the Braves' 4th inning. Let's head to Philadelphia. Madison Bumgarner on the hill for Arizona. And Bryson Stott has hit a 2-run homer. The Braves can't lose. The Phillies can't lose. It's 3-0 Philadelphia in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Phillies are trying to win their 9th straight game. They're 9 games out of first. The Braves today are seeking their 10th straight win. They start action 6.5 games behind the Mets, who were winners in Anaheim last night. Mets play at 10 o'clock Eastern time. So let's put a win on the board, put a little pressure on the Mets. Atlanta shaved 4 games off the New York lead in the last 9-10 days and have 15 head-to-head with the Mets remaining on the schedule. Matt Olson leads off. Zach Thompson starts his 4th inning. And Olson up the elevator shaft, pops this one up. Brian Hayes all by himself on the left side of the infield, puts the squeeze on that, and Olson is out number 1. The World Champions Trophy Tour, presented by Truist, is making 151 stops across Braves country, honoring the 151st year as the Braves franchise. The next stops are scheduled here in Metro Atlanta, June 14th through the 19th. You can celebrate with photo ops during stops in Atlanta, Roswell, Dallas, Norcross, and Canton. See thebraves.com/trophy tour for more information. A strike for Ozzie Albies, who flied out to left. Nice catch. Robbed him of a hit. Braves get a bit of a break as a bit of cloud cover takes away the shadows. Atlanta doesn't have to worry about those for the moment. Let's take advantage here and break this tie. Pittsburgh got 2 solo homers in the first. The Braves did the same in their half of the inning.
Nice curve from Thompson. You talked about that winning streak out on the road. In case you missed it, Brian Snitker gave a heck of a speech, and they've won 9 straight, and he's never won 10 in a row. Last year, their biggest streak was 9.
Swing and a fly ball hit toward right, drifting toward that wall and just shy of the track. Ozzie way off stride, still dropped the barrel of the bat on the ball and almost hit it off the bricks.
I'm amazed by his ability to put the ball in play on really tough pitches.
It's so much like Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah.
If you want to get him out, throw it right down the middle. You know, it's just remarkable. As that time the park big enough to hold that drive from Ozzie. Ozuna bats with 2 outs and the base is empty.
Vladdy was my teammate with the Angels and told me he grew up playing a game that was similar to cricket, where they would throw and try to hit the sticks and bounce, and so that's why he was so good at going to get a baseball. But my God, you look at him, he's 6'5", 6'6". You just don't see it. A great flexibility and just incredible hand-eye coordination covering the bottom part of the zone.
I think he passed it along to his son.
Some kind of hitter. Vlad Jr. for the Toronto Blue Jays are trying to chase down the Yankees. The pitch is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Thompson and Morton have been terrific after some fireworks in the first. Cutter missed off the plate. It's now an even count. Marcel trying to rediscover the magic here at home. He's 1 for 11 at the plate on this homestand, which wraps up here tomorrow with Kyle Wright on the mound. Then we hit the road for a week. Washington and Wrigley next on the docket for the Bravos. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's popped up right side. And a great catch. Fan from Piles Marsh, Georgia, made that grab. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Good sinker in.
Get off me, ball. It's the emergency hack.
Well, Thompson proving you don't have to throw 95 to give big league hitters trouble. Nothing straight. The pitch. And that one on the ground is short and kicked by Castillo. There's a gift. Let's see if the Braves can cash it in. E6 with 2 outs.
With sinker in, then Cutter back away, and Castillo just does not move his feet to the ball. Ends up reaching for it. Makes the error. If you're Atlanta, you want to make them pay in this situation. Pittsburgh defense has not been great all year long, and we've seen that over this winning streak. Bad defense by the opposing team. The Braves have been able to take advantage.
And they've done so especially with 2 outs. Since the middle of May, the Braves have scored 67 runs when down to their last out in an inning. Let's see what Contreras can do. He walked in the second. That buzzed the tower. 2 balls, no strikes.
Greeny, you did a great job yesterday talking about Michael Harris and the change of hands and how he has dropped them down. Contreras keeps him up high, almost above his helmet, but close. What does he have to be conscious of with that setup position?
His biggest thing is covering down and away. And if he's able to lay off down and away, he's fine. First pitch of this at bat, cutter down and away, lays off. He's got to look for something out over the plate, more up in the zone.
Made him throw a strike. 2-1 the count.
I don't know if I've seen, I've seen confident hitters on this team, right? But I don't know if I've seen a more confident hitter right now than William Contreras. Every at bat, he looks hitterish. Every at bat, he looks like he's going to crush a baseball. And he's actually been doing that as well.
Good take. 3 balls and a strike. Here's our player resume brought to you by Indeed. To Nick's point, that's a pretty exclusive list.
I'm looking at that list going, okay, yeah, those guys are really good. And then Contreras is 5th. 7 home runs as a catcher since he was called up on April 28th. That's tied for most in Major League Baseball.
He's not getting cheap singles. He's hitting doubles and homers. He's way ahead in the count here. Dangerous pitch. Here it is. Hot shot. Nice play, Marcano at second. Low throw dug out, and that will retire the side. Marcano's having a great game at second. That helps keep the game tied 2 apiece. Send your Braves to Hollywood this summer for the 2022 MLB All-Star Game. Make sure Ronald and Ozzie go back and send Austin Riley and Dansby for the first time as National League All-Stars. You can vote up to 5 times a day for all of your favorite Braves. Go to Braves.com/vote. Adam Zimmerman and his staff, a tremendous marketing campaign. Love the movie posters. All those guys have movie star good looks. And we'll see who ends up advancing after the first round of voting ends at the end of this month. Brian Snitker will be the National League's manager by virtue of winning the World Series for the Braves. So a thrill of a lifetime for Snit, his staff, and his family out in LA. As Charlie Morton starts the 5th inning. 8 strikeouts through 4 innings. Heineman, Castillo, and Marcano are coming up.
You see those shadows creeping out. Pitcher can take advantage of that. Greeny, what's harder to hit in the shadows, a slider or fastball?
Slider, because you can't see spin. Changeup will work too.
I like that pitch. Stay there.
That's one thing I don't miss is trying to hit in these conditions.
Shadows.
Did he swing? No, he did not. Tyler Heineman with a 1 ball 2 strike count. In case you wondered, Charlie Morton's strikeout high this year is 9. He did that against the Padres on May 14th. And now they're going to say that was a hit by pitch. That's a tough break. It's something Snit wants to check on. Where to get him. Yep, the old back foot breaking ball. And that's the one that's given Charlie so much trouble. Morton now has hit 8 batters. So that's unfortunate. He was way ahead. 1 ball 2 strikes and lost his man, and Castillo's coming up. If Heineman had offered at that ball, by that I mean tried to swing, and it hit him, it wouldn't be a hit by pitch. It'd be a strikeout if ruled a swing. But he clearly checked it and stands at first with nobody out. Castillo shows bunt, takes a ball, 1 ball, no strikes.
It seems like a lot of the hit by pitches from Charlie against lefties are in 2 strike counts, where he's really trying to bury that breaking ball down and in.
You're absolutely right. That's the sweeper. The adjustment he's made on his curve to lefties today, instead of throwing it middle, he's throwing it outside corner and playing that sweep. Curves have different angles on them. 12-6 on the clock is what is ideal, going straight down, but that's hard to do. So the slurve in between that comes out around 1-7, 2-8
on the clock, right?
Yes.
No bunt that time from Castillo. The Pirates, it's amazing again how the game's changed. National League club, 2 sacrifices for a team that's struggling to score runs. So Derek Shelton watches his 9th place hitter in the midst of a 3-for-33 slide down in the count, and that bounced up there. Pitch number 69 turns into a 2-2 count. Ninth place hitter up for the Pirates. We're in the 5th inning. And he blew it right on by, so they can't advance the runner. Morton has his 9th strikeout, matching his season high total for a single game.
He's got a good ride on that fastball today up in the zone. And we saw Strider have success yesterday with the fastball up, and today Charlie's been the same.
And here's Marcano. He's 1 for 2 at the plate, and he's had a sensational game defensively for Pittsburgh.
We just shot off some fireworks. Braves controllers like that strikeout, apparently.
Well, hopefully they don't need much time to reload. Get rid of this guy, Marcano, who struck out to start the game, and takes off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Heineman at first after being hit with a pitch with 2 strikes. He's running. Pitch cut on and missed, and no chance for Contreras. So a tough break. Heineman steals second, and he's in scoring position with an even count.
Good jump. Tough pitch to throw on for Contreras.
That's his first steal. Somewhere Jason Kendall is smiling, former Pirate catcher who could run. Fans may remember him. He was a good hitter, never wore batting gloves, and was a leadoff hitting catcher.
Played all the time too.
Grinder.
1-1 pitch, and splits the plate. And now Marcano down to his last strike. Swing and a miss. Charlie's got double digits. He has struck out 2 men in each of his 5 innings so far, and he's 1 out away from pitching out of some 5th inning trouble.
As you're going to see the spin on the ball right there to the lefty. He's thrown sweepers today. Knuckle up for the spike. Very nice. He's made a great adjustment with the breaking ball. Kind of play in the fade like golf, I guess, where you can change with different wrist and arm angles. So a couple different kinds of breaking balls from Morton today. I like it.
So the 20th time Charlie has struck out 10 or more batters in a game. As Reynolds tries to split the gap, and he's going to on the first pitch. Pittsburgh takes a 3-2 lead. Reynolds around second, and he'll stop there. So Vogelbach, a first pitch run scoring hit. Reynolds does the same in the 5th. He's got a homer, a double, 2 RBIs, and it's 3-2 Pirates.
That hit by pitch is so crucial. Then the stolen base, and Charlie didn't get this fastball away. First pitch, Brian Reynolds all over it.
This guy's killing us.
Good player. And a guy that a lot of teams have asked the Pirates about as they continue their rebuild. So now you're not out of the woods yet. Ke'Bryan Hayes is 0 for 2. Keep the deficit at 1. 3-2 Pirates. And up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. You fall behind this man, Nick, at your own peril.
You have to be really careful in 1-0 counts. Leads the NL with a 714 average.
And that swing tells you why. He's not going to get cheated. Brian Hayes now an even count. Braves will have their 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up in the 5th. Down a run, 3-2. Hayes couldn't time the breaking ball. Now Charlie a strike away from ending this inning. A hit batsman, back-to-back strikeouts, and then Reynolds ambushed a pitch for a run-scoring double. His 15th RBI.
I like finishing him fastball in here because he's diving.
20.
Off the end of the bat, off to our right. That is one happy fan. Wow, a dream come true. Souvenir at a big league game. The pitch. Breaking ball lined into left center field, and the Pirates will add to the lead. Brian Hayes with 2 strikes. He's on his way to second. The throw is not in time. Back-to-back RBI doubles for Pittsburgh. Mislocation.
Ball middle. I don't like the selection. I felt like he was looking curved that at bat. And is he out at second, Chip?
Looks like it. I'm going.
Let's see from
foot
this
up,
angle.
toe up. Does he tag the foot? Oh!
You might want to take a look at that.
That was really close.
But again, the question is there enough to overturn the safe call? And the Braves will not challenge. So the Pirates with back-to-back 2-out run scoring hits. They've really struggled in that category this year, but not in the 5th. All of this began with a hit batsman. Bases were empty. Excuse me, take that back. There was a man at second after 2 strikeouts from Charlie, but Reynolds and Hayes double the Pirate pleasure. Here's Vogelbach, a home run in the 1st. So we got some work to do if we're going to extend the streak. We're down a pair. Charlie's ready with his 22nd pitch. And that shaves off a corner. 22 pitches in the 5th inning. First time Charlie Morton has faced the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the 1-2. Breaking ball got him. 11 strikeouts for Charlie, who struck out the side, but a hit batsman and 2 doubles puts Pittsburgh in front. It's a 4-2 game. A live look at Truist Park on the Xfinity Live Look cam. The Pirates just took the lead with a couple of 2-out 2-base hits. 4-2 is your score. Zach Thompson staked to a lead with the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for a packed house here in Atlanta. Everybody's excited to see a Braves comeback, and in keeping with our boxing theme from our pregame tease, let's see if Atlanta can counterpunch right here. Get 1 or 2 of those runs back. Duvall popped out. It was that great play by Marcano. Right in front of Brian Reynolds, facing the center field fence, stuck his glove out, the ball dropped in the leather. For a super catch. So Adam is 0 for 1. And as we told you, Thompson, since May the 1st, 3-1, a 2-point ERA. One ball, no strikes. hammered down the left field line, but Adam was out in front and off the facade of the second deck.
The cutter hung right there over the middle part of the plate. Duvall just in front of it, or that would have been a homer. Thompson 2 wins as a starter. Pittsburgh starters only have 4 wins on the season against 22 losses. Bullpen very good at 20-10.
And nearing third time through the order territory for Thompson. I'm guessing that's why the bullpen's up. He's only thrown 55 pitches. And that been slowed. 2 balls and a strike.
Their starting rotation only averages 4 1/3, just over. It seems like every single time you get to that third time through the order, they're starting to think about making that change.
Let's make them think about it a lot faster here. The pitch. Ripped again. 2-2.
I asked Derek Shelton today in their locker room scouting report on Thompson, and he said, well, he's the nicest guy that I know. But when he takes the mound, he's a great competitor. You're going to see a lot of cutters, and he's never going to give in. And I've seen that today. Got to watch out for those nice guys, Greeny.
2.13 lifetime ERA against the Braves. The pitch. And Duvall swung wildly and didn't get that. He's retired. That is out number 1. Michael Harris is up. He's hitting 9th for the Braves again today. That's the subject of our American Family Insurance Dream Fearlessly feature.
They've been so good and so clutch at the bottom of the order. You see the 34 RBIs. Average with runner in scoring position has been huge. Dansby Swanson was at the bottom, so he has a lot of those RBIs. But the 34 RBIs are the most from any spot in the Braves lineup.
Michael's 0 for 1. Kelly, what's Snit been saying about what this kid's been doing?
Well, it's funny. I brought up that production in the 9th spot to Brian Snitker, and just what Nick said between Swanson and Harris down there, it didn't really surprise him to hear that they've gotten that kind of production. But of course, now he really likes Swanson hitting 2nd, and Harris, he goes, is kind of the perfect guy to hit 9th with the speed he has, that kind of the way he can run. And when you think about it, guys, 9, 1, 2, those guys can move, all of them.
A lot of speed, a lot of thunder, a lot of contact, and still a lot of potential for the Braves as Harris has an even count.
As a pitcher, I hated when guys were fast on base because I would be leery of the steal, and the next thing you know, I'm rushing out with not even knowing it, and then my pitch quality at the plate is sacrificed because I'm rushing. Speed does a lot of things, even if they don't steal the bag.
We saw that last night with Michael Harris running on the pitch with Acuna up. He was at second base, stealing on the pitch, vacated third base, and allowed Acuna to get the infield hit.
The 1-2. And Harris swung through that. Heineman's got to recover. Throws it away.
And there you go.
All he had to do was take 2 steps to his right, and he would have had a perfect angle to throw the runner out at first. Instead, he airmails everybody, and there's a break, and Acuna comes up with a chance to tie the game.
Nasty curveball. Goes right under the wickets. How about this? Doesn't clear himself. Chavis on the outside of the base where you're supposed to be, but a rush by Heineman.
So it's a strikeout. It's an E2, and now Acuna's up. All help appreciated when you trail in the ball game. We're in the 5th. Ronald has homered and grounded out. Dangerous part of the lineup coming up for the Braves now. As Zach Thompson back to the stretch. And Acuna had a great cut. Strike 1.
My goodness, there was some force behind that swing.
So first at bat, takes him deep on a cutter away. Second at bat, runs the sinker in on him, jams him. Third at bat, trying to go there again, but he's all over it. So you feel like now that cutter's back in play for Acuna.
Wind blowing toward the chop house. Harris a good lead. Not going. The pitch is called a strike. The Dodgers and Braves are 1-2 in the major leagues with 2-strike RBIs. See if Ronald can add to that here. 4 homers, 10 runs this month, and playing every day in right. Harris dancing. The delivery is no swing. 1-2 the count.
This is tough because when you have a guy at first base who can run and you're down by 2, you want to get him in scoring position, but you don't want to get thrown out and take away an RBI from Acuna, who can launch. So this is a tough predicament here, and he's going to, at the time, stay put. In other words, if Harris steals second, you have to know you have that bag stolen.
1 ball, 2 strikes. He's going, and Ronald swings and misses. The throw to second is late. And Acuna is retired. That's the 3rd strikeout of the inning, but there are only 2 outs. And was there interference on Acuna on the backswing? Pirates want to know. That was more a case of the catcher running into Ronald than his momentum carrying him back into the catcher. That's on Heineman, not Ronald. It's a steal for Harris, his 2nd. And now let's see if Dansby can bring the Braves a run closer with a hit here. So Michaels 2 out of 2 in steals. Dansby 1 for 2 at the plate. Looking for his 4th RBI on the homestand. Popped up. First pitch. Michael Chavis in foul ground, has room, and Thompson works around the catcher's error. He struck out the side and got a pop out. We go to the 6th. Pittsburgh leads it 4-2.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by the GMC Sierra heavy-duty truck. Xfinity, supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi, unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity. And by Kaiser Permanente.
To the 6th we go in Atlanta. Packed house, lovely day for a ball game. Sadly, the Pirates lead 4-2. They picked up the lead last inning. Charlie Morton has looked terrific today. He struck out 11 hitters, but a hit batsman, interestingly enough, is what led to that Pirate rally. Let's see if Charlie can take care of Chavis and company here in the 6th. Michael is 0 for 2 so far today. Charlie has struck out every hitter in this Pittsburgh lineup with the exception of the catcher Heineman. And he's the man that got hit with a 2-strike count.
I coached against Chavis in high school, and he played shortstop. I'm going to be honest, Nick, I did not see first base in his future. But when you can hit, they will find a place for you.
Well, he was originally a 3rd baseman in Boston's system. Went to 2nd, wasn't quite the best around the bag. And you're right, if you can hit, you'll find a spot in the order somewhere.
That's the key. But a lot of energy, hustled, played hard, cared, had the makeup.
Right on by Charlie Morton with a dirty dozen strikeouts in the game. If you wonder what his career high is, Charlie struck out 14 Texas Rangers 4 years ago. He's 2 away from that.
And talking to the Pirates, they're like, you know, when he was over here, he was earning the nickname Ground Chuck, just a hard, heavy sinker. Then Philadelphia for a year, but really turned it around in Houston. Pitching coach Brad Strom started throwing that high 4-seamer, and that's when he started really coming into his own. And that was in his early 30s, so 32, 33. Gotten better with age, excuse me.
Sorry, Paul. He won 41 games with the Pirates, made 142 starts for them. As this one's popped up by the Braves on deck circle, Olsen and Contreras give chase, and that's behind where Chipper usually sits. He'd have caught that ball.
He did miss one earlier this year, right?
That's right. Yep.
Gonna try to redeem himself at some point.
Andrew was there too.
I don't think Andrew's even trying to catch the ball. You come from the golf course again? I swear he plays golf every day.
One ball, one strike for Jack Sawinski. That skipped up. 2 balls and a strike.
Greeny, are you a golfer?
I enjoy it. I'm not very good. I saw Andrew at a Jerome Bettis charity event about a week or 2 ago. And at the end of the event, we played our own ball. It said Andrew Jones, low score. I thought he said par. So I asked Andrew the other day, I said, did you really shoot par at Eastlake? And he goes, I shot under par. I was like, okay.
Very nice.
And he won both long drive holes as well.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And lifted to the left. Long run for Adam. He is not going to have a play. Count stays 2-2. Bullpen starts to work for the Braves. Trailing 4-2. Charlie Morton trying to get through 6 innings and snap that streak of 4 straight pitching fewer than 6. Jesse Chavez playing catch first amongst the relievers. Now the 2-2. Lifted toward left. Long run, Duvall. That ball's carrying, but a great jump. 2 outs. Cal Mitchell, the hitter. First, a quick message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Mitchell has been struck out twice by Charlie Morton. In the 6th, Riley Olson and Albies are scheduled for our offense, trailing 4-2. And downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. One ball, 1 strike.
You know, it's unusual because Charlie is thrown 5 2/3, only 5 hits, so less hits than innings pitched. He's only walked 1. He struck out 12. Good strike to ball ratio, but unfortunately has made a few mistakes on some pitches, hit a batter, and he's down 4-2. It's unusual.
And he's behind Mitchell here. 3 balls and a strike. Heineman waits on deck. Charlie was rolling till that hit batsman derailed the inning, then doubles with 2 outs. Lifted again toward left and right at Adam Duvall. Charlie Morton has thrown 102 pitches and he is through 6 innings. Now let's see if the Braves can get him even. 3-4-5 coming up. Bottom 6th inning. Time for our player comparison, brought to you by Landmark. This series featuring 2 of the best young third basemen in the game.
Yeah, Ke'Bryan Hayes is one of those young studs who's going to get better. You see the slugging percentage at .386. Well, that's a far cry from Austin Riley's .532, and the home run differential is definitely there. But Ke'Bryan Hayes is going to be a tremendous third baseman for a long time, and Austin Riley is absolutely getting it done as of late.
Austin has seen 2 pitches. He's homered and hit into a double play, and he will face Dwayne Underwood,
5 innings, 3 hits,
who's been scored upon in 5 of his 10 appearances this year.
4 strikeouts.
Braves have the right part of the order coming up against a man that has had tough times against the Braves. For his career, Underwood has pitched 2 innings and has given up 7 earned runs, including, it doesn't say how many home runs, but that's 2 games, 7 runs. So we'll see what happens with Underwood trying to preserve Zach Thompson's 5-inning 3-hit performance. He left allowing 2 runs.
67 pitches. for Thompson. Gets pulled after 5.
Third time through the order. That's
Crazy.
the only guess. As the 0-2 pitch bounces up.
I mean, I'm not hating it right now, but because he was really good, but just crazy.
I got a little trivia for you guys. You ready? Got to go quick. Number of pitches with 200+ innings pitched in 2010. How many would you guess? Don't cheat. I saw you look. You with the wandering eye. Oh my gosh.
Not many. I'll just say not many.
What was
do
the
you
question
think?
again?
Number of pitchers with 200+ innings pitched in 2010.
In 2010, I'm going to guess 26.
I would have said the same thing. The answer is 45. And then last year, how many pitchers in MLB 2021 200+ innings pitched?
I'm going to say 4.
Oh, you cheated too, you dog. You're absolutely right. 4. Did you guess that?
No, Hal told me.
How? Everybody's against me up here. Just trying to run a legitimate trivia challenge here. You're right, and that's why, you know, guys are coming out now 4, 5, 6 innings. Bullpen's very important. More important, you have guys that throw harder. You're paying a lot of money to down there, and now 5, 6 innings is good enough.
Underwood, a local kid from Pope High School here in Marietta. Was on his way to play baseball for the Dogs, but signed with the Cubs as this ball is hit toward right. And at the edge of the wall, Matt Olson is denied. Mitchell stayed with it. Ran along the fence to the 325 sign, and Olson is 0 for 3. Ozzie Albies is the hitter. Speaking of Marietta, here's a quick word from Marietta Toyota.
In Marietta, businesses come and go, and some remain and grow. Visit us at MariettaToyota.com to learn why it's always better in Marietta.
Ozzie is 0 for 2. He's hit the ball in the air twice. Braves have just 3 hits today. They couldn't time Zach Thompson again. Now they're facing Underwood with 2 outs. Gentle breeze blowing toward the right field corner as Ozzie had to move his feet. 1 ball, no strikes. That looks good on an 86-degree day. Change up and a good one. 1 ball, 1 strike. You got Chavis from Sprayberry High School. Underwood went to Pope High School. The pass list for those guys heavy this weekend with a 4-game series. And the Pirates leading 4-2. That's where teams are going to get Ozzie Albies, that high fastball.
Well, when you hit baseballs that are down below the zone out of the park, make the adjustment and throw the ball up.
Strike 3, bottom part of the zone, and Ozzie Albies retired. Underwood strikes out 2 and a 1-2-3 6th.
Time now for our T-Mobile coverage cam. In the last couple days, check it out. Eddie Rosario out shagging balls, running through some drills. Even took batting practice, which is another step forward in his recovery from, of course, the eye procedure that he had done in April. He is currently nearing that 8-week mark. Of course, originally they thought he would be returning to this team anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks. He is on track for that window still, but kind of a funny moment, guys. I know you were down here on the field with me during batting practice. He really squared one up and actually caught Ron Washington on the inner thigh. Here it is. This was yesterday during BP, and I think we're going to see it. And yeah, you can see the facial reactions. I mean, he got Wash pretty darn good, but the way these guys like to razz one another, all in good spirits, you know Wash's response, right? Well, hey, guys, at least he can see. We know he can see.
That's good.
And when he's right, we know he can hit. So great report, Kelly. Can't wait to get Eddie back, as well as Tyler Matzik and Mike Soroka and Kirby Yates. All of those guys rehabbing too, as Jesse Chavez will come on and relieve Charlie Morton. 6 innings, 5 hits, 12 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 runs, 2 homers, and a hit batsman. Love to get your thoughts on Charlie's outing, fellas, as he gets through 6 innings today, snapping that streak of 4 straight without doing so.
Well, that's just it. It's a very confusing box score because the name of the game is don't give up runs. He's not going to be happy that he pitched 6 innings, giving up 4 runs. But he pretty much dominated the Pirates with the exception of a few hitters. The hit batsman, the homer, string together a hit or 2, and that's it. And you can't be perfect on every pitch to every hitter, so you're going to have your hiccups. But I think he pitched really, really well. But again, he gave up 4 runs and is not going to be excited about that.
'15th sellout crowd here at Truist Park. 41,219 are here. As strike 3 right down Peachtree. Heineman couldn't pull the trigger, and now every Pirate has struck out at least once in the game. 1 away.
I'll take this pitch. A little comebacker, maybe above the zone, but we'll take it all day long.
Above the zone, that's right there, Greeny.
We need some of those calls. We do.
We're owed a few.
Diego Castillo is 0 for 2. Looking ahead to the 7th inning, home half that is. Ozuna, Contreras, and Duvall are coming up for the Braves. First things first, got to finish up the top half, then we're going to send you to the stretch. Our friends at Synovus, as always, present the stretch here in Atlanta. Trevor and Peter are going to break down Ronald Acuna Jr.'s sizzling month of June. And that sizzle continued today with a leadoff home run. Maybe Peter can talk about that tattoo as well that Ronald's featuring on his left shoulder. That's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jesse Chavez pitches very important innings for the Braves. They may not seem like they are, but up big or down a couple, with all the strikes he throws, he keeps you in the game, gives you a shot. Riley, long throw. Olsen dug it out. What a play at both ends. See if the Pirates take a peek at this. Bang bang play at first after the bobble at third.
Hits off the heel of Riley's glove, panics a little bit, throws it to the ground. What a pick by Matt Olson.
That's a Gold Glove play.
You see how his glove goes from down to up? That's the only way you can catch that ball. Great job getting low with it, eye level. Nice play.
Tucupita Marcano, as we mentioned earlier in the series, named for his hometown in Venezuela on the Orinoco River. He's had a good game today. Picked up a hit against Charlie Morton. He's made a couple of sensational defensive plays to take away some hits. And now he's running to Jesse Chavez, who's thrown 13 pitches, 10 strikes, as he usually does. That's what you love about this guy. He doesn't mess around.
I loved it when he came back because of what you just said. Goes right after guys, and it felt good when you get some of the pieces that you had when you won the World Series and you see that name back in the locker room.
Raiders traded Sean Newcomb to the Cubs for Jesse Chavez.
Chip, you mentioned Jesse throwing big innings. Go back 2 outings ago against the Rockies. Strider goes 4. Chavez saves it with 2. 2 big innings. Another big inning today
with a couple of strikeouts. 4-2. Pittsburgh has the lead. It's time for the stretch. Big month for Ronald. Trevor and Peter ready to break that down for you.
The Stretch is brought to you by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
Welcome into the stretch presented by Synovus Trevor Scales and Peter Moreland kicking it outside at the Battery at Truist Park. Braves went down early, and I could not think of a better man to have leading off with his 25th home run in that position than Ronald Acuna Jr. The month of June has been good to him early on.
Nothing surprises me anymore with this kid. He just does something special on a night-to-night basis, and he's continued to do that in the month of June. Think about this. He came back from knee surgery from 9 months, and he's played sparingly since then. Now he's got a chance to play in right field every single day. I think he's feeling really comfortable out there. He made that play the other night where he had to run back and make a play similar to the one where he hurt his knee on. I feel like when he got through that, he felt a lot more comfortable. But the fact that he is able to do this stuff like this, he's doing the LeBrons, he's doing the ice tray, he's doing everything. He's feeling comfortable right now. Look at this spray chart. This is exactly what you want to see. It's not one way. It's not just pull. It's not just going the other way. He's hitting the ball all over the place, and he's doing it with power now as well. That's the big difference. We're getting a lot more pop from him than we were seeing earlier on, and I'm telling you, it's a warning sign for the NL East.
And not to mention the fact that when he gets on base, he's stealing as well. 11 stolen bases. He's continuing to be aggressive on that base path as well. We're going to get you to some more Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Synovus.
Opportunity won't always come to you, but with Synovus as your bank, you can always go towards it. Synovus, get there.
Time for the home seventh. Pittsburgh leads it 4-2. And Marcell Ozuna will lead off for the Braves. He's 0 for 2 in the game. You know what we haven't had lately?
What's that?
I had a walk-off hit.
Okay.
I mean, I like a little less drama than the ninth inning, but let's get something rolling here. That might be a start. Drilled to deep center. Reynolds can't catch that. Ozuna ambushes the first pitch. He's on his way to second. A sliding leadoff double. Here we go. Tying run comes to the plate. 4-2 your score.
So good to see the last 6 coming in. 4 for 25. Trying to find his swing a little bit. First pitch fastball stays inside of it and use that right center field gap. That's where Ozuna is at his best. I kind of feel like maybe he exhales after that because he's been struggling with the fastball and he was all over that one.
Well, you got to score a run here. Leadoff double. You got to bring at least one home in a 2-run game. Let's see what Contreras can do. And that's high from Mr. Underwood. Tons of room down the left field line if William can pull a pitch. And that one spiked. It's ball 2.
Greeny, you talked about him needing the ball up. We'll see if he can get one up and run into one. David Bednar down in that bullpen. Very, very good closer for the Pirates. We'll try to stay away from him. Make your move now.
Both Braves runs came on solo homers. The Braves are looking for their first hit with a runner on base in today's game. And that's nowhere near. 3 balls, no strikes. You've got Duvall lurking. And after Duvall, Harris. After him, Acuna. And they're starting to play catch again in the Pirate pen. Four straight, 2 on, nobody out. Chris Stratton is getting loose in a hurry for the Pirates. Again, Underwood has faced the Braves now in 3 career games. He's given up 7 runs. He's in some trouble of his own making in the 7th. Adam Duvall has popped out and struck out. And a visit from Oscar Marin, the Pirates pitching coach.
Let's hear a quick message from Landmark.
Take me out to the Giants. Take me out for a car. The Giants selection is something to see.
Chop House is rocking now. Braves have a threat.
That is so intimidating. So loud. On point, on time, everybody chopping.
All right, so Contreras just walked on 4 pitches. Greeny, what's the approach for Adam Duvall here after the mound meeting?
I think you're looking at Dwayne Underwood trying to get a strike across the plate, right? If I'm Underwood, I'm trying to go cutter. I'm not giving him a fastball, but he's got to be on hard velocity.
Jammed him. Chavis to second for 1. Throw to first, not in time. Oh, they called him out. Duvall looked like he was across the bag when he was rung up. Almost certainly the Braves will look at this. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's not even close. Ooh. That's a bad miss. But the Braves are going to get this one overturned. They'll have first and third with 1 out.
Atlanta is challenging the out call at first base.
Tell you what, give Duvall a lot of credit for hustling down the line.
And he tried to hit the ball the other way, right?
He got jammed like you wouldn't believe, and that's hard to get out of the box with. He knows how important it is to get on base here.
Fans will see the replay and they'll start to cheer. This one's going to be a very, very quick overrule, and Duvall's going to be safe at first, or at least should be.
Adam Duvall is a big man, strong in the weight room, a lot of power at the plate, and deceptively very fast getting down the line and running down a ball in the outfield. Pays off here.
I'm hoping there are just several reviews in the queue. Oh, here we go.
Upon review, the call on the field is overturned. Runner is placed at first and second.
You always wonder when the review takes a long time if there's an angle they have that we don't see. Everybody in the bench said safe, and then they all point challenge. So they get the force at second. Contreras is out there. Ozuna's at third. Duvall safe at first, and Michael Harris is the hitter. Remember, Michael struck out his last time up. Heineman, the catcher, overshot Chavis at first for a throwing error. The Braves unfortunately couldn't cash it in. Braves still looking for their first hit with a runner on base in this game. First and third against Underwood in a 2-run affair.
I just want to say that Michael Harris II has not hit a home run in the big leagues yet. And in case you have never seen him take BP, he can launch, so it's in there. Greeny, this may be the chance for his first.
One ball, no strikes.
There's that balance between the 3-run homer and getting the job done, staying in a line drive. He came out of his shoes on that one.
She's so hard. Underwood's got something that goes both ways. He's got that cutter that goes in on the lefty, and that sinker which we saw against Duvall.
One ball, one strike. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Interesting note on Harris. 5 RBIs as a big league hitter. Al Galima tells us that all 5 of them have come against left-handed pitchers.
So let's make his 6th RBI against a righty.
Underwood with a check of Duvall at first. Harris the key man in the inning. Acuna's on deck with 1 out. Up the middle, base hit. We're down a run. Duvall around second, on his way to third. Michael Harris comes through to make it a 1-run game. Now you really like your chances. You've got your 1, 2, 3 hitters coming up. The 9-spot Nick comes through again for the Braves. We're down a run.
I love it. It's not the cutter, it's not the sinker. And I think he did Michael Harris a favor, and he took advantage. But you know where that big part of the field is for Michael Harris. He loves to live there and loves to get those big hits. He does it again.
They're chopping. They're excited in that dugout. I'm excited that he tried to go deep twice, couldn't do it, and then he cut down on his swing, got the job done, base hit up the middle. That's a great sign for a young player.
So Dwayne Underwood is going to be taken down. He worked a perfect sixth, but ran into trouble here in the seventh. The Braves have their first hit of the day with a man on base. It's a run-scoring hit for Michael Harris. Atlanta trails by a run with Ronald Acuna Jr. coming up before a packed house in Atlanta.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Car Shield, the All-South Highway Safety Team. Never mix drinking and driving. And by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
Well, Braves coming back in the seventh. 2 homers in the first for the Braves. Ozuna started the rally with a leadoff double. Michael Harris with his first RBI against a right-handed pitcher. Now Acuna, Swanson, and Riley are lurking down just a run. Pittsburgh goes to the bullpen again. This is Chris Stratton. He has been excellent. 1 earned run in 10 road innings pitched. And he inherits 2 base runners here. He's retired 19 of 24 first batters. And only 2 of 9 inherited runners have scored. The disadvantage here for the Pirates, a fly ball of depth for Acuna gets the game tied. That would be a sacrifice fly. But Ronald, as you know, thinking about a lot more than that. He hits with men at the corners, 1 out.
Stratton, a very good breaking ball, throws fastball up in the zone. I'm wondering if Acuna's sitting breaking ball like he was early. We'll find out here.
Stratton has induced 4 double plays on the year. Ronald's hit the ball on the ground once so far today. They give him the whole right side of the infield. Harris has great speed. Wonder if he'd think about running. Do that, then you walk Acuna, I guess. Let's see how it plays out. 1 ball, no strikes. Not going. And a late swing. Strike 1. What a start to this game. 2 solo homers for each offense in the first inning. Pittsburgh got 2 in the 5th. The Braves have come back with a run in the 7th. Down 1 now. And Acuna with Adam Duvall 90 feet away representing the tying run.
There's that fastball up. Chip, you mentioned the stolen base. You know, that's, if you do walk Acuna, you got Swanson with protection there. It just keeps on going.
That's the beauty of this lineup. When they're cooking like they are, there's nowhere to go to get an out. Acuna had 2 balls and a strike. 94 center cut. Ronald missed it. It's 2-2. Acuna is 0 for 4 against Chris Stratton head to head. Dansby Swanson, who'd be next, is 0 for 1 with a walk. Needs some contact with 2 strikes. And here it is. That clipped him. Acuna got grazed. A 2-strike mistake from Stratton, and the bases are loaded. What a break.
No one likes to see Acuna get hit, but you have to pitch him in to get him out. This is certainly not intentional because of the situation, and the Braves catch a break here.
Dansby Swanson up in the biggest spot of the game for the Braves. He's our Home Depot getting more done feature of the game.
Last 20, he's been crushing baseballs. Over 400 versus right-handed pitchers over this span. 364 with runners in scoring position. Right man, right spot.
A Brave at every base. And he didn't get it. Swing and a miss. Dansby this year with the bases loaded, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Almost certainly a hit gets you 2 with the speed of Harris at second. A gapper might clear him with Acuna getting a gigantic lead at first base here. No balls and a strike. Little pop down the right field line. That's going to drop. Fair. 2 runs are going to score. Acuna to third. He's going to run through the red light. Late throw. He'll score standing up. Acuna was not going to be denied. Wash put the stop sign up and he never broke stride. A bloop single clears the bases and the Braves are back in front.
You talk about the importance of a good lead. Acuna had a massive lead at first base, and Dansby Swanson, yep, keeps getting it done. This time it's not on the barrel, but it doesn't matter. Bloops it in the right. It scores 3.
Heredia is excited. Everybody's excited. And how about Wash, who had the stop sign up? What I have learned is, if you can make it, go.
I can't remember the last time I saw a bases clearing bloop single. And now a shot the other way for Riley. It's getting contagious. Dansby cuts the bag at second. He's going to go to third. Braves are pouring it on and leading 6-4. Again, Riley swinging early in the count. This time makes contact. And the Braves trying to add on.
Fastball down, lets it travel. Nice swing. Seems like the Braves are so aggressive on the bases, going first to third. I love pushing the envelope and putting pressure on the defense.
Six runs, 7 hits for the Braves. They have a 4-run 7th. Matt Olson, the 8th man to hit in the inning. And that got away from Heineman. Riley's going to move up. That takes away the double play.
Didn't get his glove turned in time. Stratton has come in and thrown 9 pitches, and he's pitched very well. But what you're seeing is the subtle pressure of the Atlanta Braves and making things happen. And now they'll intentionally walk Olson.
So it's funny how the game works out for Charlie Morton. A 2-strike hit batsman in the 5th inning led to 2 Pittsburgh runs. For Chris Stratton, a 2-strike hit batsman of Ronald Acuna Jr. loaded the bases for Dansby Swanson, whose bloop single cleared the bases and put the Braves in front.
And Acuna was late on fastballs. Yep. Trying to make too good of a pitch and hit him.
Greeny, have you ever gotten 3 RBIs out of a bloop single over first?
I definitely have not.
Ozzie Albies swung over the top. Good curveball from Stratton. Ozzie has 4 career grand slams. Well, that would be nice. Let's keep singling these guys to death. A double, a walk, a hit batsman, 2 singles, and then the intentional pass to Matt Olson. 6-4, Braves lead it in the 7th. The pitch. So the magic of Stratton has come to a bit of a close here in Atlanta today. Allowed just 1 earned run on the road all year. He's given up 1 so far, and all these runners his responsibility. The pitch is popped back toward us and foul. It's 0-2. Braves trying to come back and win their 10th consecutive game. The last time they had a 10-game winning streak 9 years ago when they won 14 in a row back in 2013. The 0-2 pitch. Ozzie fighting hard with 2 strikes. For the record, neither Nick nor Birdie clapped. But we're all happy with a 2-run lead. No balls, 2 strikes.
I want more.
Stratton ready. Here it is. Ozzie takes that in the dirt. Nice block.
Chip, when they score right here, I'm going to clap.
Okay.
And they've already scored 4 this thing. It takes a lot to impress you.
I want more.
Okay. This crowd is going nuts. They are alive. They are excited. This is a huge inning. Let's not forget about Michael Harris's hit, getting everybody going.
First RBI against a right-handed pitcher. It came with 2 strikes. As Ozzie goes back to work. Breaking ball, fought that off. This is what Ozzie can do. He'll drive you nuts sometimes with aggressive swings early in the count. He'll get to 2 strikes, and then all of a sudden you look up 6-7 pitches later, you got a fight on your hands. Pitch number 7. Swing and a drive. Deep right center field. That ball is long gone.
Pitches that at bat. Finally gets a fastball he can handle. Absolutely crushes this baseball. I love this for him. He needed that so bad. Been searching for that home run stroke. 5th career grand slam for Ozzie Albies. I love it.
5 2-strike RBIs in the inning for Atlanta. The Braves have scored 8. The Pirates are stunned. Everybody is bubbling over at Truist Park. Braves on their way late in Game 3. 10-4 Atlanta. Pittsburgh goes back to its bullpen. Well, it's so apropos on a day where the Braves try to win their 10th consecutive game. They've scored 10 runs. 8 of them came in the 7th inning. Our All-State mayhem moment of the game. Ozzie Albies caps it with his 5th career grand slam after what, a 7-pitch at bat where he fell behind 2 strikes, guys.
I haven't stopped smiling since he hit that home run. And yes, I did clap because I'm so excited for these guys. I'm so excited for Ozzie. It's such a fun team to watch and a huge inning.
Underwood 3 runs in an inning and a third. Stratton did not retire a batter. 3 hits, 5 runs. He hit a batter that was crucial. That was a 2-strike hit batsman of Ronald Acuna Jr. And now De Los Santos is on as the Braves have a 10-4 lead.
It was unbelievable. I got to be honest, you know, at some point you can't just keep winning in the major leagues over and over again, and they looked a little flat today offensively, and it may seem like it may not have been their day. Wow, that changed quickly. The subtle pressure of this lineup where you don't get a break, a few key hits, a jam shot over first, some great base running, a crowd that won't be quiet. It's been electric.
A 3-run bloop single and a grand slam in the same inning. That's the beauty of our game. No 2 games are alike. You show up at the ballpark, there's a great chance you'll see something you've never seen before, and that's added to my personal list. The Braves have scored 8 runs. And Jesse Chavez, after a 1-2-3 7th, now a big lead to play with. After Charlie Morton's 6 innings of 12 strikeout ball, looked like for a while Charlie was going to be on the short end of a very disappointing outcome, but not a disappointing outing.
But when you look at this lineup and how they've won in different ways, on this 9-game winning streak. It's been close games, it's been blowouts, it's been comebacks, it's been everything. And they are doing it again today.
Swing and miss takes care of Ozuna. That's the second out of the inning, and William Contreras is coming up.
Ozuna's walking back to the dugout a little frustrated, but let's not forget about him with the leadoff double. Getting it going.
2 walks for William today. He's also grounded out. That was a nice play by Marcano at second base. Well, look, we've said it a million times. It's been said in every broadcast booth since baseball was put on radio or television. Good teams cash in mistakes by other clubs. There have been a couple of them by the Pirates in the late innings as Contreras rolls out to third, and that retires the side. One of the best innings of the year. A 3-run bases clearing bloop single for Dansby Swanson, and then Ozzie Albies can't cool him off on a hot day. He hits his 5th grand slam. Ozzie Albies with a huge blow. A grand slam extends the Braves lead to 10-4 as we head to the 8th inning. Dansby Swanson, a bases clearing bloop single down the right field line. Acuna ran through the stop sign, scored standing up, and that got this place electric. Michael Harris, a 2-strike hit. I mean, everything went right for the Atlanta offense, which scored 8 runs. And now Jesse Chavez with a 6-run advantage birdie goes back to work after watching for the last half hour. What does he do to stay loose and ready to go?
So you got the big lead, so don't try to be too fine here. Don't want to come out and walk a couple right away. You have had the big amount of time off, and you just want to stay warm in that dugout. You can go back in the tunnel, ride a stationary bike. They also got the batting cage back there. You need to flip a few into the net. That's fine. Keep that arm warm.
Brian Reynolds had a great game at the plate. A homer, a double, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. But the Pirates have some real heavy lifting to do after the Braves scored 8 runs in the 7th inning, their highest single inning of offensive output this year.
Kelly, are you okay down there? Line drive went screaming into that well.
Dansby off the heel of his glove, couldn't corral it, and Reynolds will reach to start the inning.
All good down here, guys, but we do have a still photographer who's gonna need attended to. I think he's gonna be okay though. He's shaking his head. He's all right.
And it's an infield hit for Reynolds, who's a triple shy of the cycle. And here is Ke'Bryan Hayes, back-to-back doubles against Charlie Morton in the 5th inning. And outside from Jesse, 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies are winning 3-0 over Arizona. Boy, what a week and a half for these two clubs, the Braves and the Phillies. Rob Thompson, their manager, to this point undefeated after taking over for Joe Girardi. But they are still a ways away from catching the Braves. They are, what, 10 games out or 9 games out? Let me check here real quick. Yeah, Phillies are 9 out, 2.5 behind the Braves in 3rd in the East. Mets are in Anaheim later on this afternoon and evening. Another strike from Jesse, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Anaheim changing their manager as well. Phil Nevin with his first chance to manage in the big leagues, well deserved.
Hayes expands his strike zone, and Jesse Chavez has his 3rd strikeout, 1 away in the Pittsburgh 8th. Here's Vogelbach. Look at what he writes down the first base line with the knob of his bat. See if Al Galima with his binoculars can read the inscription in the dirt. Last night, a couple of big league pitchers who were former teammates had a game of tic-tac-toe behind the mound.
Did we find out who won?
I think it was a cat game.
That's like my games with my kids.
Yeah, because you let them win or because you're just not very good at tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
I'm a good dad.
Yes, you are. As Vogelbach digs in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Thought that was really clever behind the mound. I've seen it done by first baseman in a big league game. There's a lot more room to work with. Make a much bigger tic-tac-toe board. As Chavez trying to X out Vogelbach here. That backed up, evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Feast or famine for Dan today. A homer and 2 strikeouts. Reynolds a good lead. And on the ground, Ozzy's going to flip to Riley to turn. Double play. And a baby Jesse. 4-5-3 double play. Braves offense goes back to work.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
An 8-run 7th has propelled the Braves to a 10-4 lead, bottom of the 8th inning. And David Bednar, the Pirate closer, is going to come on and face Adam Duvall, Michael Harris, and Ronald Acuna Jr.
First appearance since June 5th. Hit a scoreless appearance. Fastball 95-98 comes in hot. And nasty curveball and split as well.
He's a hometown kid. He's a Pittsburgh native, pitching for his hometown Pirates. He was originally a San Diego Padre, part of a 3-team deal that ended up having Joe Musgrove go out to San Diego, his hometown. And Musgrove, of course, threw the first no-hitter in the history of the Padres franchise. Bednar 10 saves in 22 games. Only 5 walks.
He's in to get work. Sometimes if you're a closer and you sit there for a while and don't pitch.
Fly ball belted toward left center field. At the track, at the wall, and room for Sawinski. Duvall gave it a ride and is retired for out number 1. Get out and play this play ball weekend. Free events are being held in communities across the country. Register your kids today. Visit MLB.com/playballweekend for more information. Michael Harris in that 8-run barrage. Let's not forget his 2-strike hit. We'll take a 4-game hitting streak into play tomorrow. Kyle Wright and Jose Quintana wrap things up. First pitch 1:35 Eastern time. If the Braves can get this one, they'll try to complete a perfect homestand. So we hope you'll join us for Braves Live beginning tomorrow afternoon. And then we hit the road to Washington and Chicago.
Brian Snitker said when they called Harris up, look, I know he's a young kid. I know he doesn't have a lot of at-bats in the minor leagues. But the bottom line is if we think a rookie can help us win, we're going to bring him up regardless. And that's held true.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Harris is out number 2. And look, Snit has said this. I talked to him about it earlier in the week. Brian's a lifetime player development guy. The old rules of 1,000 minor league at bats or 400 minor league innings or whatever the number is, those are out the door now. More and more kids are getting here with minimal minor league experience, as it were, because they're so immensely talented, like Harris, like Ronald Acuna Jr., for example.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it you can attribute to summer ball and the quality of play in those leagues. I mean, I didn't face 94 until after my senior year of high school. So it's going to take me a little bit longer. These guys are facing that at a young age. They know how to hit. They know how to play the game. So you're going to see more guys move a little bit quicker.
Jesus Cruz getting warmed up, not to mention travel ball, Birdie, and the showcase games. I mean, there's a, I don't want to say
great point,
professional aspect to it, but certainly the lifestyle is similar.
I remember growing up in Kentucky when, you know, a scout whipped out a radar gun and put it on you, and you looked and you saw 1 or 2, the heart rate went through the roof, and that was a big deal. Now when you go to these showcases and you have 35 radar guns pop out and you're playing the best team from California or Texas or this and that, you got to get ready. Got to learn to handle that adrenaline. And then now in college, my goodness, some big crowds everywhere. You're on big networks. It's not just the College World Series. So yeah, you're right. Guys are growing up quicker.
2-1 pitch, and Ronald just missed. Fell down as he made contact, and Ke'Bryan Hayes at third base in foul ground will make the play, and we are off to the 9th inning. A big 7th has the Braves in command. 3 outs to get for a 10-game win streak. Country music and baseball collide with the Zac Brown Band and the Braves ticket bundle for just $35. With the purchase of this special offer, you'll get a lower level concert ticket to see Zac Brown's band perform at Truist Park on Friday the 17th of June and a Braves game ticket. Lock in your seats now for the concert and Braves game at braves.com/Zac Brown Band. Well, the baseball bands had themselves quite a hit parade today, wouldn't you say? 10 runs, 8 hits. Braves have hit 3 homers, 2 solo, 1 grand slam. Dansby Swanson with 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Morton Chavez and now Jesus Cruz will try to polish off the Pirates and seal a 10-game winning streak. Michael Chavis leads off in the Pittsburgh 9th. And you can stay right there on Michael, who is 0 for 3 in this game, a couple of strikeouts. He struck out 6 times in the series to this point. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cruz, another man with a big arm who came from Gwinnett after some terrific success over a 12-game period. And he's got a cue shot hit right to Ozzie, who unloads quickly for out number 1. There's so many good things to talk about in this game. What we hope will be a brief 9th inning won't be enough to recap it. They'll do a much more thorough job of that on Braves Live when we get done. But this is one of those games, guys, that the Braves played a lot of in the final 2 months of the year last year. Fell behind early, battled, stayed in the game with the bullpen, got some big hits, and then once that boulder of offense rolled downhill, there was nothing that would stop it. And I think that's what happened in Game 3 today.
You asked me about Morton. I thought he pitched very well. I would say the same thing about Chris Stratton, coming into the game against an incredible offense, made the pitches, and it was just an avalanche. Could not stop him.
And it's funny, for both Charlie Morton and for Chris Stratton, as big as the homers were, as big as the doubles were that Charlie allowed, it was the hit batsman for both pitchers that led to the rally.
But you go back in that inning and you had the Duvall hustling, beating out the double play. That was a big deal. Then you had Michael Harris, 1-2 curveball, base hit. That was a huge deal as well.
Didn't overswing.
There are a lot of great things that happened in that inning. Yes, the hit by pitch was important as well, but other guys did some other things that were crucial to that inning.
Jack Sawinski didn't get a slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And I'll say something else, and I mentioned it briefly a little while ago. When Ronald Acuna Jr. ran through the stop sign, look, I'm not advising that. But there was nothing that was going to stop him. He never broke stride, and when he scored standing up, this place went nuts.
Yes. So what you're saying is, do not try this at home. He's a trained professional. And I got to say, when you do that normally, on most teams you get yelled at, On this team, you're allowed to do that as long as you turn, see the ball, feel like you have a good chance. And that makes for a very, I don't know, comfortable type of atmosphere where you're free to make mistakes. And Ron Washington wants you to be aggressive.
And I wonder, too, Nick, he had the big lead at first base. He gets ahead of steam up so quickly. I mean, he can really fly first step quickness. It might have been easier for Ronald to keep running than to try to stop.
I think that's why he didn't slide, because I don't know if he's comfortable sliding feet first yet, and I don't want him sliding head first in that situation. So I was completely fine with it. But you see where the lead is. He's past Chavis at first base and never stops. Well, the other thing is he's cutting corners, and when he's right and healthy, he's cutting corners. And you can see him. Thank goodness he didn't try to slide feet or head first.
They had some look like gym mats out on the infield here.
It's a sliding mat
early in this series. Is that something Ronald's been working on?
When I tore my ACL, I had to figure out how to slide on the other knee.
Oh, really?
And I haven't seen him slide feet first at all. And I think that's going to be a challenge for him. And
line and caught. Riley makes a great leaping grab. Cal Mitchell, good looking hitter, lines out. The Braves are not away. Nick,
I'm in on that play too.
Yeah,
give Riley a lot of love. Third baseman in the shift. I thought this was a single to left field. Great play.
He's too big to jump that high.
But going back to Acuna for a second, that's just the progression of recovering from an ACL. He's going to have to slide on that knee at some point. Early on, you're afraid something's going to happen to it, but to see him on the mat sliding feet first was big.
One more out to get. Tyler Heineman, the catcher, stands in the way. The pitch, swing and a drive, launched foul, and well out of play. Here's what we were talking about. You explained that beautifully, Nick. Having to learn how to slide on the opposite leg.
And you see where he's sliding right now on the left knee. So it's going to take a little bit of time because it's a little bit awkward, but I'm glad to see him out there working on it.
No balls and a strike. And a little high, even count.
I just want to say, don't try to get anything past Nick Green.
You can get a lot past me, trust me.
(10-4) Braves. The pitch. High fly ball down the right field line again. And again, he was out in front. Now we're a strike away from a huge win. Braves haven't had a 10-game winning streak since 2013. Cruz is a strike away from pulling that off. And the 15th sellout crowd on its feet at Truist Park, loving a late barrage of offense. And over the netting back toward us, out of play. Fan from Catala, Georgia, made that catch, hanging in late. Wright and Quintana wrap it up. In a matinee tomorrow, the pitch. He went around, and that's your ball game. 16 Pirates strike out in this game. 8 Braves score in the 7th. And fellas, we've got ourselves a 10-game winning streak.
I love it, and I love the way they're winning in different ways. Different guys contributing. Today, a huge 7th inning was the decisive inning in this ball game. But just props to Charlie Morton. Thought he looked really good. Bullpen and some really big hitting in that 7th inning.
You said it, Greeny. Morton 6 strong, Chavez 2, Cruz 1. The horses in that bullpen are ready to go tomorrow for a day game. Brian Snitker with his longest managerial winning streak of his career. Fans are happy. So much to talk about, Chip.
And they will break it all down for you on Braves Live. That's presented by Xfinity. It is so apropos. A 10-game winning streak. The Braves scored 10 times in Game 3 and go for a series sweep and a perfect homestand. Tomorrow, our coverage starts at 1 o'clock on Valley Sports Southeast with Kyle Wright, who's been brilliant for the Braves, taking the ball in the homestand wrap-up. Fellas, enjoyed it. A lot of fun. We'll keep it up tomorrow. Stick around. Trevor and Peter standing by with Braves Live. Atlanta beats the Pirates 10-4 your final. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.